He steals from you, I didn't want it back. That's the guy's honest truth, John.
Well, it might have been then, but it's not anymore. I mean, we've got houseboys that can walk in and we leave our houses open and everything. If they, it's the same thing. They get caught stealing. I mean, if they find out that the Arabs stole it, well, we don't have Arab houseboys, first of all.
No,
All
you
our
had the Pakistanis.
All we've got is Pakistanis. Arabs do not do housework anymore. They are, if you're an Arab, I mean, you're instantly wealthy. If they, even the Bedouins out in the deserts, they give them, they came through, I don't know how many years ago, made it a decree that all Arabs, all Bedouins, get as many pickup trucks as they want. For each Bedouin that is old enough to drive, he gets a pickup truck. Just for being a Bedouin and being out there in the tribes. And you go out in the middle of this. I've been driving through the what's the empty quarter? The
Qatar?
No. Rubicali. And out there in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, you'll see from out of nowhere, off some dirt road, here comes a pickup truck, and there's a goddamn camel in the back of the pickup. That's how they transport their camels. If they need to get one camel from this herd to the next herd, throw him in the back of that, tie his feet together, and off they go. Or their tents when they move. It's no more packing them on camels in the pickup truck. But that was I've always.
They'll never run out of spare parts, will they?
No, they just keep buying new ones, new cars.
No,
but you and I never really talked about since I've been over there. Really talked about your experiences in Saudi Arabia. I remember a lot of the things you told me when I was a kid, but I don't really recall.
You don't recall them exact, verbatim. I can see, some of the things I told you. I know I didn't tell you that, but we had some very strange happenings over there. See, our headmen were always Pakistanis or even Indian.
You mean like a foreman?
Yeah, interpreter. You have a whole bunch of ragheads.
Are you talking about, when you say ragheads, are you saying Arabs?
Arabs.
That were workers?
Saudis. Call them Saudis. Now you get some Arabs, like we got some Arabs from Lebanon. They were big jokers. They're big Sikhs. You ever seen them? They wear the big orange turbans.
Well, the Sikhs are from India.
Well, no, the Sikhs are from almost any country. They come from China.
It's a religion,
India. Yeah. It's a Sikh Muslim.
Shiite
Muslim.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, we have all of those guys, but those guys are mostly in the administrative brackets. They don't get out and run the job. Now, I've had, when I was over there, our headmen were slaves. They belonged to an Arab. They were branded with 3 marks on their cheek.
Where were these from?
Well, I don't know where they found them, but where they're originally from is from the Sudan country.
I've seen a lot of the Sudanese with the three scars. And they usually have them on both sides.
That's right, they're a slave. Our fire chief in Ras Noor.
But
he was a big dude. He was 7 foot something, and he must have weighed 250, 270.
I've seen the women like that also.
Yeah, well, you don't see many of them. Do they still practice Purdom?
What's that?
Wearing a veil.
Yes. Oh, definitely, especially the Sudanese, the blacks. But they freed all the slaves in what, 56?
I don't know. I didn't know they did.
Yes, all the
Excuse me.
Sudanese. They made all the Sudanese.
I gotta get a drink. I'm talking about South Carolina. You will? Oh God, I'm gonna wake you up, yeah.
No, I was just, my contacts are bothering me.
But the Sudanese were the slaves, or the Somalis also.
Somali, yeah, we had them.
And
And there was Ethiopians.
yes. But the ones that had migrated to Arabia and become slaves are now citizens of Saudi. They are Saudi Arabians. But they are not. You know, when they made this decree to give all Arabs or Bedouins trucks, and occasionally they'll have a thing where they'll give all true Arabs, you know, a fortune. In other words, you know, they still have that thing in Saudi Arabia where all the ragheads come up to they come talk to the king. They get an audience with him. And there's a big long line. And here's all these grubby looking Bedouins, you know. They come walking in there and they say, you know, hey, I need a new TV set. My TV set broke, you know, or I need, you know, 20 camels because, you know, I was walking down the road and a big semi truck came and killed 20 of my camels. Can you
lie?
Yeah, but the king will say yes, it's yours, you know.
Make a note of that, fella.
Yeah, and there's nothing the king, and they still do it to this day.
Well, you know, the way the
Which
change,
means I'm talking.
the change that took place from my day to your day, which is 27 years since I was in there, in Arabia.
Well, the previous king,
No, I wasn't there. The old king had just died when I got there. And King Ibn Saud III took his place. And he was a good old boy, but he's useless. Didn't have no brains at all.
How about Abdul Aziz?
Oh, Abdul Aziz was the old man.
Well, of which one? Ibn Saud?
Ibn Saud, what was the other word?
Abdul Aziz?
Abdullah Aziz.
Oh,
Yeah. He was the old man. And the old man had 125 kids. And Ibn Saud III was the oldest in line. He was somewhere in his 50s when he took over the reign. But anyhow, what he would do, he would get his caravan, a black Cadillac. I mean a caravan. Maybe 60, 70 of them. They'd drive through the desert. And one of those, one or two of them maybe, were loaded with reals. And as he'd go through a town, he would reach down and get a handful of reals, throw them to the people. And of course, they all said, "What a Zane! You know, Jesus Christ, that was the greatest guy in the world. He threw us reals." And why just muck, you know?
okay. Now let's get back to that was good. But let's what can you two tell me about Ray? When, you know, he got in the accident in 1948,
No,
47,
46,
46.
October 46.
Okay, and then he was carousing around and when did he meet Aunt Jenny and when did he, you know, can you give me
Dick, he must have married in 50, 51.
Well, he used to bum at the yacht club, and Jenny and Peach's sister Mona used to bum there too.
What do you mean bum? You mean just hanging
Oh,
out?
they went together.
Just like you and Sandy hung out at that,
That bar.
that bar and made so much noise. So
Don't listen to
he started going with her then. And then in 51, they weren't married yet in 51 when he was drafted. So he must get married in 52 or 53.
this. I didn't know that till this discussion, that Ray was in the Korean War. I know he was in World War II, but the Korean War.
Yeah,
Now
well,
He was recalled then, huh?
Yeah. See, he went in the reserve, and in the reserve, why, you're,
Your subject.
oh, you right now. They need you, and zap, you go.
So he was going with her when he was in service there after in the Korean War. I think he was stationed at Norfolk all the time, though, the time he was in, and then he got discharged from there.
Oh, during the Korean War?
Yeah. He never went out of the States or anything like that. So
Well, they must have gotten married shortly thereafter.
I think it was either 52 or 53 they got married. I don't remember when exactly. Peach would know, but I don't know.
But they were going together while he was still in the Navy.
Yeah. Well, between him and her, they were getting enough money together that he'd come home every weekend on a plane. Almost every weekend he made it. And he really wasn't.
Where did Aunt Jenny work, do you know?
She worked at Saban Robbins.
So did Peach.
No. Well, Jenny worked with Peach and Mona at Fashion Fox. And later on, Jenny's sister got her a job at Saban Robbins. I don't know what they did out there.
Ginny and Ray, after they got married, to my knowledge, Dick can elaborate on that if he wants, never did anything except join a bowling league.
Yeah, just about that.
That's about it for all of their life. He was come see, come saw about the interest in the Cincinnati Reds. Other than that, he had no other outside attraction.
Do you think that had anything to do with
Yeah, well,
the accident?
the accident, of course, changed Ray. You never met a happier-go-lucky kid in your life than Ray was
When he came back from California, wouldn't want a better guy than Ray was. But he was 180 out from that after that accident.
Right. It left him very morose, and
Low key, huh?
yeah, he was down on life, down on himself mostly.
Yeah.
He just didn't feel right about himself.
You couldn't really be normal to him at times, you know. If him and I had a working agreement, if I had money, he could borrow it. If he had it, usually I could have borrowed it too. But if I asked him to borrow a couple bucks, and he'd give me a whole lot of static, and I tell him to go to hell and kiss my you know what, and then 5 minutes later he'd come over and say, how much you want? So you had to put him in his place. I mean, I don't know if he enjoyed it that way or what, but that's the way it was.
Well, he was the same way about his cars too. I remember the deal that you guys went through when he sold you his car, the one the brown one, the brown Ford,
Yeah.
and we'd come over to Uncle Dick's and from Uncle Ray's, and Ray would drive in the driveway, and he said, just look at the way Dick takes care of that car. He said, when I had it, it was perfect, you know.
You know, Ray.
But there was really no, not any real big hatred between you guys,
No.
was there?
No, never.
No,
You
there
guys
wasn't a big
didn't-
hatred.
You guys didn't beat up on him when he was a kid or anything, did you?
No. But Dick will tell you this. In the last 10, 15 years, I've noticed it. Dick and Ray never went to one another's house.
I know.
We did occasionally, but
I
not
said,
very
what the
often.
hell? I mean, it'd have to be an occasion where somebody out of state was visiting one of them.
Well,
Then they'd come over. And
not only that, even the times, and this is the first time I've ever said anything to you, but even though the couple of times, like when I'd come to Cincinnati, it wouldn't be Dick or Ray that would arrange it. It would be Aunt Peach or Aunt Jenny that would arrange the get together. You know, they were.
And you know, Peach and Jenny were very, very close friends, to my knowledge,
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
But here, you call Peach up and say, how's Aunt Jenny? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen her in 6 weeks or more. They don't see one.
Well, Aunt Jenny's
They don't know what's going
Aunt
on.
Jenny's changed quite a bit since Uncle Ray died. Also.
No,
No,
She was
about the
always
same
that way.
Yeah.
she was always a very,
Secluded.
She just didn't. She just didn't care about things. Well, I guess she cared about them, but
It didn't make any difference, one way or another.
no. She was never really interested in anything. She loved her bowling.
She still does.
Yeah, I suppose.
Every time I call back there, she's out bowling.
But that's it. Little Gary, goddamn, I went down there bowling with him one day. I hadn't bowled for years. They talked me into going down bowling with him, and I just barely could beat Jenny. I bowled about 165, and she bowled about 160. Ray bowled 170. But Gary come up with 185.
Yeah, I
He was
think
pretty good.
I think Sandy's the only one that doesn't really care for bowling.
No,
I
she
think.
don't give it. I don't know what the hell Sandy does care about. She likes family. She likes general get-togethers. But she don't care about dancing. She don't care about going to any civic affairs. She don't care about music. Nothing really turns her on.
That's not true. Sandy's a partier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That girl, I've been in Cincinnati. The times that I've been through, Sandy always tries, to take me out and we'll go to a bar or drink. I'm not really I wouldn't call her a bar fly. Bar fly is the type of person that just
Well, if you took
hang.
away the music, she wouldn't go there.
Yeah, but she has a good time. She socializes with people like you wouldn't believe. She knows everybody in the bar, and she goes around and has a good time.
Yeah.
And then she come home half smashed, but it was socializing. It wasn't there just to drink.
Yeah.
And but Gary is just 180 degrees different. Gary
He's
is
all
straight-laced.
himself.
Well, I think he
He's
takes.
changed now.
Is he?
He's got a girlfriend. He and her brother get along real great. And when Sandy got married, he was socializing with a lot of people, and more so than he used to.
Well,
So he's changed a little bit.
he took things very serious. At least the times that I have seen him. Well, when his dad died, he was very. He seemed to take the whole burden of the whole
Yeah.
family onto his shoulders without really needing to. I mean, the family would have survived whether he carried on or not, whether he wanted to go to college or not. But he went to he went to school and he went to work at the same time. But he took everything very serious. And I'll tell you, you think Ray was finicky with cars. Gary, you probably won't find a dent or a ding on that car today. I mean, from what I saw, the way he took care of it was just like Ray.
I flipped open Ray's ashtray, and it was brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never been, not an ash in it.
Nobody was smoking this car.
Nobody had smoked in it. No. When I got it, nobody had smoked in that car at all. That brown one.
Oh yeah, he was very finicky.
Although he smoked.
Well, I think that was more of a hobby than anything, don't you? Don't you think that was a kind of a pride or something that he could really show
No.
people? Well, how do you think, what were his hobbies other than bowling?
That wasn't pride.
His
That
house,
comes into the category of an idiosyncrasy.
yeah, but his house was pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
It was spotless and
Yeah, I imagine his tools were in order.
Yeah.
oh, his basement is like a doctor's office. I mean, every tool's in its place.
Like
and
Tracy's.
Oh, no. Let's not get carried away here. Okay, hey, listen, we only got about 10 more minutes here, maybe 5. A question that always crosses my mind now that both of you guys are older, in the twilight of your life.
Oh, come on. Shit, we're just starting.
Is there any
We're just starting.
is there anything that you
Do
can think about that you would do different, that you might pass on to generations that might listen to this tape later as Mosers?
No, except that in my lifetime, I have been thoroughly convinced that the old uh, sayings that they used to have, cliches, is get the best education you can get.
Right.
My dad told me, he says, no matter what you do, John, he said, learn all you can. And he said, that's one thing nobody can take from you, unless they brainwash you or something like that. But you get an education. Education will help you earn money, and it'll help you understand life, and the whole thing. And this is what I'd pass on to any kid, that you get an education, you get a whole pocket full of degrees. Honestly, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, this business of going down here and getting a degree because you was a good bowler or something like that don't make it. A lot of kids take these elective courses, you know, and they pass through school with no qualms, and they get a degree and a BA degree, and it don't mean anything. They can't even spell their own name. They can't even fill out a resume. And to me, education, concentrate on something that I think everybody is given natural talent.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, you have a natural talent. I don't care what it is, but if you take that natural talent and do all you can to become the best in that natural talent, you can't help but be a success and be satisfied with your life. And if you were lucky enough to get a job which comes under the category of your natural talent, it's just like having a hobby.
That's a plus.
That's right.
It's just like Rick doing what he wants to do. Now,
That's right.
he spends hours doing what he wants to do.
He loves
And
horses.
the next guy comes along, goes, sees what he's doing, and he wouldn't have it for nothing. My brother-in-law Calvin says, I always like to see what they get at these horse shows, Ned. But it's their way of life. And that's the only thing I have I think is my favor is I got 3 out of 5 so far, and they're doing what they want to do. Not that I picked it out, they picked it out themselves. And if you're doing what you want to do and you like it, that's half your life, really. If you enjoy what you're doing.
And you'll become good at it.
Right.
You'll become a pro, an expert. And that'll generate business.
Right.
And this is all you can ask for. But just to go out and pick a trade, because it's a high-paying trade. Look how many guys want to be welders.
Yeah.
Welders make a lot of money. But there's only
good at it?
very, very few that have the natural talent. And your brother Ray was one of them. I fought it all the way.
Yeah.
I like welding, but I didn't never have the natural talent. But I became good at it, good enough to pass all the tests. And Don, he's like me. He has to fight it all the way. But anyhow, that's what I'd pass on to anybody else, is find out what you're really good at, and then bone up on it. Be good at it.
Yeah.
What would you be?
Well, like you say, getting an education. Once you get a degree, that opens a lot of doors for you.
That's right.
I mean,
You
where
get a
you
degree.
where you walk up to a place and say, fill out an application. If you got a degree, it opens the door for you.
Yeah.
And if they hire you without a degree, it's on your personal experiences and your work record. If you work 20 years for a company, then they look at that second.